Hey, hey, hey. Let me check the camera. Is it working? Can you see us? I hope so. So, sorry for the technical difficulties and sorry for the delay. We had a little bit of problems to start with. Okay, it's working, great. It's not gonna be streaming on Facebook. Something went wrong, so it's only streaming on the YouTube. Anyway, hello there.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Welcome to second stream about caves. Today we're gonna be. I do have stuff to show you, by the way, and we're gonna be answering some questions. That's the first thing, and also there was quite a lot of changes on the page, so we're gonna go through the page in a second as well. But I want to show you a few things. So I do have a set of pre-painted stuff, so I'm going to explain you exactly how we're going to move on with pre-painted. I think it's quite important, because one thing we haven't explained to you very well is that you're gonna get a huge variety of how to call this one, a different basically painting on every single set, but not a different, but basically the same theme, the same colors, but they're gonna be completely unique with every single sprue you're going to receive from us on those sets. But we're gonna get there in a sec. Oh, not this, sorry. I need to actually tidy up. Sorry, I needed to restream it, so 1 second, give me a sec. Still having a little bit of difficulties here. I need to close that window. Yeah, okay, that's it. And I need to open up that one. Yep, okay. Anyhow, so how are we gonna move on today? Caves, obviously, and then social media questions and chat. Then we have some changes to the game found page. Yeah, we're gonna go through that one, explain you bits and bobs, and then pre-painted. Now, from the normal announcement, we're gonna have to do one more live chat next Friday. It's gonna be totally I'm gonna be summarizing both of them, so I just want to do last one, which gonna be on the page instead of those two which we did today's ones and the one from the last week. Just to summarize again, I will go through some questions and answers which they were there, and which we couldn't have we didn't have an answer back then too. And yeah, what else? And then obviously we're gonna have a launch stream.
Yeah, the launch stream
as usual. So as you know, the campaign was delayed for a couple of days. We need it because we have changed the way how the campaign will work now. So at the moment, let's go through the questions maybe. So Shimon, do your duty.
So Trisha says, for caves, can we have a pledge with 2 core sets and 6 sub scenes? Pretty please. Yes, we have added this in now. It's called the Dwarven Warrior pledge, I'm pretty sure. There's also a teaser on the Discord that more or less shows how much space you're getting, or like how much it covers. So I recommend joining the Discord if you haven't already. Next up we have from Hughes, for caves, stretch goals and an add-on please, and the DL add-ons.
So stretch goals and add-ons on, please. We will update the page this week with all the add-ons. At the moment, I think only the add-ons we shown are the miniatures. So everything else will be on a page by the end of the week. So you will see all the variety of different add-ons, and that will include the previous pre-painted sets from dungeons, right? Monster dungeons.
As for this question specifically, it was mentioned during a previous live stream that we're not sure how many stretch goals are going to be unlocked yet. So we're holding back on releasing an add-on for just the stretch goals. But you know, in the pledge manager, we'll see. Maybe we'll add one.
I think we will. We will. We always do. But we cannot actually put it there now because we don't know what the price will be, because it's all will be depending on the number of elements we're going to be unlocking and the kind of how much tooling we're gonna have to put there. Just to give you some think about tooling, my engineers sent me an info about how many tools we needed to make for previous campaign, which was Deus Lair, and we scheduled for 60 tools or 61 tools, and actually it was 66 tools. So we were not that far away from what we actually predicted. So, but it sometimes happens. Sometimes we have bigger stretch goals, larger, and they have to go, and less of them will go on a tooling, which means we're gonna have to price it correctly. Yeah, so I got that one question.
Yeah, next question. Kuroth, Blue Steel, Caves. Are there any new sets or add-ons going to be available in rapid delivery, or is it just previous campaign items?
I guess at this stage I'm going to say that only the
legacy sets,
only
right?
the legacy sets. I'm saying this because as you can see, I have them here. I have those the spruce here. In fact, we actually made 3 tools now from the core set of the caves. Not the core set, we call them just normal caves, right? So the rocky caves. There is one more tooling missing, and then we are already in the process of cutting 2 more tools for the second set. I think it's the belly of the beast, which is being done at this stage. So we haven't even started the campaign, and we already got, like, you know, at least the core set will be done within the next couple of weeks. So I believe before the end of the campaign we should be able to show you everything on the spruce, and hopefully everything as well pre-painted. So at the end, you know, you can make up your mind about if you want to go for one or another one. Yeah.
Yep.
But saying this one, if we're gonna have enough of those tools made, we might add them into rapid shipping, but this will be at the point of the pledge manager, which is normally around about 3 months after the campaign finished. Yeah.
Just a reminder, for this campaign, rapid shipping will likely be available as a separate add-on. It won't be in the pledges itself. So if you have any legacy items, you just add it on as an add-on. And please, for the love of God, do not make a separate pledge. If you've closed your pledge and you forget to add rapid shipping, do not make a new pledge with just rapid shipping. Please contact us, reach out to us, and we can try and fix it from there.
Okay, yeah, that's true, because we had people who added in and then they thought it's like additional shipping or something, like basically part of the shipping, or they thought they're gonna get something earlier. I don't know. It was kind of let's call it problematic to fix it. However, just to mention about add-ons. We've created one pledge just for the full set of miniatures, not pledge, sorry, the add-on, just for the full set of miniatures from Deusle. So one of the miniatures, one set of the miniatures. So just to let you know, this will be also available for those of you who wanted to get some additional big batches of minis. Yep.
Okay, question, Caves. Can you mix painted and unpainted sets? Can a pledge be painted prospector and an add-on an unpainted core set? So right now, I believe if you purchase a pledge, the entire pledge will be pre-painted. The question here is, can you add an unpainted core set? Are the core sets going to be available as separate add-ons?
We haven't thought about that one. I know we haven't added them as the separate add-ons. We only have the sub-teams as add-ons at this stage. So unfortunately for the core set, no. But you can add any other type of add-ons, and you can add them as unpainted ones if you want, like you know, the sub-teams.
We have had plans to, you know, let you choose what you want to receive, painted and unpainted, but it would cause some issues in the pledge manager. So we
so we have to go by pledge.
Yeah,
we have to go by pledge. So not like you will just add on option for painted terrain. You're gonna have to go basically for the additional for different pledge.
Okay, we got a question from Ryan James. Love the goblin lair. The thing I was wondering is if we could get short straight walls that match the curved walls more seamlessly, and maybe move the short walls to stretch goals. They look great, but they're kind of unique entranceway pieces, whereas short straight walls that match the curved walls better would be a lot more versatile for us whales buying many sets.
Well, at this stage we are unable to do that because the entire set is made out of one kind of design of sprue, and we needed to make so many short walls just to get you a good amount of those on that one sprue. And that's the thing, we are unable to do anything kind of with it now. That's about it. So we're gonna have to leave it like that.
Yep. Okay, next slide. I missed the live stream, but will you be doing a pre-painted? Will you be doing pre-painted rampart terrain?
There is in the pipeline, yes. There is some. We don't know when and how we're gonna do it. I think the pre-painted terrain for wargaming is also a good idea. We need to see what the market is thinking about it. Yeah, but there is an idea and plans, and if we do, it needs to be kind of redesigned and matched at least with
the standards of what terrain for wargamers is like now.
Exactly. Especially that the terrain which we designed for Rampart was designed about, I mean, the first one was like 4 years ago almost, and back then the 40k was in different spectrum. Nowadays 40k's got its own very advanced terrain rules. So if, in order to actually do it right, we're gonna have to match with the 40k terrain rules. Yeah. Okay.
So Patrick says, no issue at all. Most of it is being pre-painted is fine. How much time do you think before you start delivering once the campaign starts?
Once the campaign's actually finished, right? So or starts. So the campaign will start, and the campaign is about 2 weeks. After the finishing of that one, we're looking at 3 months to get up and running the pledge manager, and then from the pledge manager it's around about, I would say, 7 to 8 months for shipping. For the normal shipping. I mean, that's usually what we do for the Dungeons lasers. As you might know, entire line of Dungeons and Lasers is manufactured in Poland, in our factory here. So there is no additional delay of, you know, shipping everything on a boat and waiting 3 additional months to get it from China or such. Mm-hmm. So once we have it, it's straight out of the doors. And yeah, so far, every single Dungeons and Lasers campaign, I believe from a second one, it's been delivered on time or even before. Mm-hmm. At least the shipping started, because obviously we once we start shipping, some of the parcels will reach, you know, far corner of the globe within a couple of weeks, or maybe 3-4 weeks sometimes in some cases. Yeah.
It's also important to note that we don't stockpile every single pledge before we start shipping. You know, usually we produce stuff and we ship it at the same time. Which is usually why it can take, well...
Oh, not really. So maybe I will step in a little bit and explain if this is important, but I can explain it. The way we work is once we have a first tool designed and put in a production, we make enough volume of sprues for entire campaign. Mm-hmm. And that goes on the rack, that goes on the shelf. And then we do that constantly till we end up on the last tool to make. So usually once we have the last tool in the manufacturing, this is the point when we start shipping it. Right? So it's not like we're waiting with the tools for the last goal and put in the machines, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to deliver that one. Mm-hmm. But we have to stock everything up before we ship. Yeah,
to be clear, I have explained this to people in the past in this way, that, you know, we do usually just stock up on one set and then we just send it back. But it's more like, you know, people expect their pledges to come out pretty much instantly after we say we start shipping. So that's more what I meant.
Okay. So, you know, no, there is always ramp up of, so that step. Yeah, sure. Okay, we can discuss this one as well, because this is what now with a Deus Lair. Mm-hmm. So we have a capacity and target of around about 250 parcels to be shipped out every day. So this is all the pick and packing from our team here, which they goes around it and pick and pack all the boxes, and then off they go to shipping company, which then hand over to you. I mean, deliver to you. And that's always the point when we say, and I did that constantly on every single project, and this is going to be part of the next week or week after the AMA, when we're going to be talking about other projects. So how it works is within the week time we can ship around about 1,200 parcels to 2,000 parcels, around about 2,000 parcels. That I think that was the top out of the factory. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess we can quickly head over to some questions as well in the chat. So, for example, Brophy says test sprues. Can I have all the test sprues after the campaign ends? I want to give them a good home. Well, about that. Usually we're not really giving out test sprues for caves. I believe we are currently in the process of sending some test sprues to influencers, but it would probably just demand too much time, effort, and money to offer every single backer of, for example, Deus Lair, like one sprue.
Yeah, that was the idea initially. I thought we could be, getting this one done and delivered, but at this stage because of the process itself and everything else. And also we have a retail launch of one of the pre-painted terrain. We decided to actually do differently this time around, so there won't be no test sprue. For those of you who back before our projects know very well, you're gonna get definitely at least those two things, which is the value for the money and the quality of the product, right? So there's nothing new. In fact, we're gonna get a little bit better quality because from projects to projects we improve the way we design it, the way we have, you know, ideas about what to do next with it. And our technology also improved from the dungeons, from the first dungeons and lasers to now. It is miles away from where it was. So yeah.
Hi guys, at the moment the GameFound site shows the design of the ritual site and the chambers of agony to be very similar. Can you give us insight into your creative process to make every sub-theme unique? Do you want to talk about that? Because
let's maybe jump on a page quickly. If I am, I hope I can jump on a page. I must to click here. Where do I need to click? Maybe I won't be able. One sec, just 1 second. Let me. You're gonna see my face for a sec. Okay, hi there. Okay, sorry for that. I mean, when the stream couldn't start it up, we went panic mode and closed all the windows which we had ready. So I need to make sure that
I didn't.
I did.
You did.
I did. Yes, I did. So yeah, I've got it now.
Right, okay, I've got it put up.
Which one was it? That one was it? Okay. So. Oh, by the way, we reached 10,000.
Yeah, congrats, guys.
10,000, congrats. Yeah, we reached 10,000, so that's amazing. And let's have a look. So the page was updated with several concepts and several new graphics, so you should be able to see it right now how it looks. I mean, obviously the video still will be out there. I think what doesn't shows here, doesn't give the, you know, that justice to the quality of that, is because we have to show you like 66 or 26 inches of terrain on each small area. So I don't think this is doing the correct work. However, so we're saying that which one is very similar to this one. So Chambers of Agony, that, and the
ritual site is up.
And the ritual site.
Up one more.
Up more. Ritual site. I think we have a 3D ritual site. You will be able to see the difference. So the main difference are the walls, which are designed differently, and the floors designed differently. That's much more, I would say 40k-ish, because there's lots of skulls on it and things like that, the bones. So this is kind of different one.
Yeah, please keep in mind it's just concept art. Obviously in the Chambers of Agony you can see a full render, but in this one, in the ritual chamber, well, it's just a concept. So once we have the models ready, we'll post it up on the page.
Exactly. So this one, I would say it's much more Diabolish, much more because you have normal walls you can see, floors you can see here. This one is like proper ritual site when you see everything which is needed out there. So candles, you will see bones, you will see skulls, you will see pentagrams and everything else. And yeah, so they're much different between each other. They're really different between each other. But the one of the things why we delayed the campaign was because we didn't have them ready, and the idea was we're gonna unlock them during the campaign, through the campaign, because they are in the process of being sculpted at the moment, which means that we will have them now for the campaign start. So when the campaign starts, you will see all the renders and everything else. What I'm thinking about is we need to slightly better representation. I've got some idea how to do it. I need to have a chat with my team on Monday, but I think we should have additional kind of window like that when you see a renders, like a pass through for every single terrain, right? So every single team, because I've seen the video today, which gonna be up for the campaign video. I mean the main video, which is not there yet. It's gonna be here. When you click on it, it will play, and that video shows much better detail and much better what exactly you are getting, and especially for each of the teams, and they're really amazing. And my worry is that this render here is not showing exactly how cool, how great, how detailed, because this is the most detailed terrain we have ever created, ever. and we spent a really huge amount of time on actually sculpting, designing this terrain, comparing to any other previous to our previous campaigns. And I don't think those renders show that in a full glory. So I will see what we can do. I think I've got some idea what to do. I just need to get my team to deliver on that idea. And yeah.
One question here. Val Canoni, when you show a comparison of painted, unpainted, and Prismacast, can you show the same set side by side? We have actually done this before. I believe it was in a previous blog. If you
change on the no.
Yeah, no. We have it on the blog, in a previous blog right here.
But I thought on my hand now, I can show it now.
I believe it was in this blog right here. So we've got the entire process here, but here we also have an image comparison of Prismacast on the left, unpainted on the middle, and hand painted on the right. So I hope that, if you want more information, I definitely recommend checking out our previous blogs on our page. Oh, right up here at the top.
Okay, do me a favor, also change on the unboxing camera quickly. So you can see it here, 2 sets, right? This camera, yeah, it works. So that set is the unpainted one. So I just want to show you. This is what I mentioned about the detail on the floors and such. The detail is really deep. And that's the painted set. All right, here we go. Is this camera actually show? Yeah. Right. So we have designed many few sprues already. I mean, we have one which is full of the curved walls. By the way, the curved walls actually are made up from two elements. We needed to actually split them apart, and they go exactly as the normal walls goes into. So that's the curved wall here. It's actually 2 pieces. So effectively, you could use this one if you want, a small tiny piece there. But if you want to use 2, just add another set. And they click. I won't be able to do that there. They click in and it goes like that. Here we go. So that's new. And we need to do that way. Okay, my microphone was out a little bit far away. I hope you heard me what I just said. So we've made the short walls and made the tall walls and straight walls sprue. We have a sprue for rocky caves from the curved walls and the half tiles. We have that one there. So which one is missing is basically the hills one, which is gonna be done next week, I think. So as I mentioned before we start the campaign, we should have at least 1 or 2 sets already done in plastic. So I think that's amazing though. That's amazing. Okay, let's move on to the questions.
We can probably do the presentation now, right?
Yes. Okay. Give me a mouse. Yep, there is.
Okay, Renee says, will you only be able to get the sub-theme for the core you get, or will you be able to mix them up? Yes, you can choose any combination you want. There's no limits at all. You can probably, you can just check the website right now as well.
Yeah, we've done some changes to the website just to make sure that this is clear, because I think it wasn't clear. I mean, the fact itself, this question was coming back, so I think the reason why this question was coming back because the page wasn't clear. So just to explain briefly, let's go to the section of pledges. Oh, a little bit down. Okay, so that's the minor, and that's the floor coverage. That's made of it's only an assembly example, right? So made of actually 3 sets, so you know exactly what you're getting, at least for your floor coverage. But it says choose any one core set, and then add 3 subteams of your choice, so you can choose any. There's no limitation whatsoever. I hope this is clear. If it's not clear, please leave the comment and we will fix it.
I mean, it should be clear. Like, listen, if it's not clear, you may either need to see go get some glasses, or I don't know. I'm sorry. There's not much else we can do to help.
That's not the correct answer. The correct answer, if something is not clear, we're gonna fix it. That's it.
I don't think it can be any more clear, but yeah.
Let's move on to presentation.
Yeah. Patrick says, and in how many painting options will there be specific sets? I mean, one specific set will be painted in 2 different options, for example. Yeah, so as we explained earlier, the current plan is to have the sprues painted differently. So each sprue is gonna we have the ability to paint each sprue very differently. So you'll be able to show that off. Like we have, we can show off to the camera right now.
So this is just optional at the moment because we haven't make any decisions about it. So here you have exactly the same set painted differently on different in different shades. Actually,
to be clear, this is not the final color scheme. We're still looking, right?
Yeah. And
you're not going to receive different colored sets, obviously.
No. At this stage, we're going to choose. I mean, we are going to with that one. But if we're going to, I'm not gonna promising at the moment because if I'm going to promise, you're gonna keep me for this. But I'm not promising yet. But we're thinking about maybe we could potentially add one more color, and then in a pledge manager you'll be able to choose either of the colors. However, I do understand the limitation here from our point of view in terms of making it, managing it, and making sure that everything is there.
I mean, I think it's a great idea because I've seen a lot of people asking for icy caves and lava caves as well. I think it's actually a very good opportunity to include it in the pledge manager. Yeah,
the main problem is not main problem. The whole concept and idea is that we have to use the color which matched with other sets, so we don't wanna miss. In other words. If I'm going to have in Pledge Manager a dark color and light color, there is a risk that somebody's gonna pick one set of dark and the other set of the light color, and then upon delivery he will not gonna be happy with it. So the thing is we have to basically limit the options as well for the for everything, for production and things like that. So
yeah, I think it'd be fine if we just have the different colors for just the base Rocky set, right? So you can pick the normal color Rocky set, and it has the same color as the demonic caves.
Okay.
But then you have the icy caves and the lava caves.
Let me just go through the page quickly because I need to make sure that also the concept of that one is explained well. Okay, we are on the page. Right, so what was the idea here, and what is the idea for pre-painting, and why I'm stressing out a little bit? That is, if you see the concept, we said you have a one theme, which is demonic caves, right? And then moving down, you would say those three sets, they should be at least in the same color, or the shade of the color should be similar. Otherwise, if I'm gonna go for this one as a yellowish, and if you make this one reddish, they're not gonna talk to each other. It's not gonna look good on a table. So the whole concept at the moment is that if we're gonna make a rocky caves, and rocky caves gonna be, let's say, this yellowish color, which I'm having here, then every other set which goes along with it, so Spider Nest, Goblin Lair, Deep Mines, should have a similar, not the same, similar color, and then it will blend in perfectly. So if you buy this core, everything of that, and you put on a table, you're not gonna see those much differences, right? They're gonna be there will be some differences, obviously, because you have the spider web here, which obviously needs to be white. You have some the wooden planks and all of those things which is gonna be painted in a wooden color, but the main color of the floor and main color of the walls, whenever you see some rocks, should be exactly the brown one. Yeah, or exactly the same as the core. If we allow to change this color and pick any out of those colors, they won't match unless we're gonna have the second level of the second level of the color. So that's the one big problem which we haven't solved it yet. So at the moment we propose and offering only one type of coloring. But it doesn't mean we won't change. I mean, we might be offering later if we're going to find the proper colors. Yeah, okay, that was a long explanation.
Yeah, it's quite long,
but
okay,
it
we can
needed
go back to the presentation. Yeah. Anyways, Matthew Rose says, can you paint on top of the pre-painted terrain and personalize it a bit? Yes, but you will probably need to apply a primer to it first, or do you think you can just paint onto it?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's just, the paint itself is a primer. That paint itself is a primer. I mean, you can use it as a primer. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, to be honest, with that plastic, you probably don't even need to use a primer, but it just looks nice, and it's just nice to have it as a base.
Yeah, so you can paint it. You can wash it with wash if you want, and it's just like normal terrain. This paint actually it's just several microns thick. It doesn't disturb any type of detail on the plastic itself. But yeah, no problem with overpainting it.
Yep. Jason says, how I see you scratching the tiles and it takes some work, but how about impact? Something heavy landing it or on it, will it chip it? How waterproof is it?
So
yeah, do you have a hammer anywhere?
No, don't go crazy. My desk is very
Pete, I can hold it. Wait.
No. Okay, so there will be a video on the the marketing team is actually working on a video which shows all those things about, you know, waterproof and how resistant the tiles are. It's a plastic, so in general plastic doesn't break. If you ask for the paint, which is actually quite valid question, because I would ask exactly this question, if the paint is going to chip if I'm going to bend the plastic. So maybe change the camera for me, please, quickly. So the question might be, if I'm going to bend it like this or like that, is it going to chip? So it's nothing is chipping there. So as you can see, nothing actually disturbs the paint or break it quicker. I mean,
you have to squeeze
the plastic
hard.
Plastic is going to bend it, but there's nothing on the paint, so it's not bended like that. Okay, so even after that bending, there's nothing there.
That's full force, right?
It's no full force. It's a.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
You have to really push it.
Even if I break it in half, and I shouldn't destroy it because it's well, you know what I mean. But as you can see, the paint didn't chip. Let me just check this. Yeah, you see? Right. So it is really really good coverage. The paint is actually extremely bonded with plastic. So yeah. So yeah.
Well, best part is you can just, you know, if you somehow do break it, you can always just grab some glue, stick it back together. Probably be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go to the how waterproof is it? Well, I mean, it's like printed onto it, so should be fine, right? I don't think water affects it in any way, right?
No, it does not affect this type of paint at all.
Mm-hmm.
If you would like to remove the paint, I don't think neither of the green liquids will remove this paint. I will do a small test, but it's not water-based paint. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Caves, will the miniature packs only be available through the add-ons on the Kickstarter or crowdfunding on GameFound? Because this is a very expensive Kickstarter, even with the stretch pay option. I would like to see those packs available in retail too. Yeah, I mean, definitely we're planning on releasing these sets in the future to retail. You can be sure of that. Will they be available in the pledges themselves for this campaign? Likely not. We don't have any plans for adding the miniatures to the pledges themselves, but you will be able to add them as add-ons, and they will be available in the future in retail. Loz says, will there be a way to get the stretch goals with just the miniature add-ons? If you're referring to, again, just a pledge with just these, then no. If you want them to add them separately, then possibly yes. If we do decide to add the stretch goals as an add-on in the pledge manager. And Brandon says, Caves, are there still plans to add more elevation pieces to the stretch goals or the packs, like bridges and higher elevation cave sections?
Only the ones we have shown you. Only the ones we have shown you on the last video. And so if you haven't seen it, then just stay tuned for the next one, which I'm gonna be doing the summary and show you everything on that one. But we don't have any more plans to add any more that actually we did there, unless, yeah, we can talk about the super stretch goals, by the way. So the formula for the super stretch goals changed, and we at the moment we don't have a super stretch goals, but you never know. If you're going to break some good numbers, good values, we might pick up where we left it last time, these super stretch goals, and bring them back from the previous campaign, which were not unlocked, maybe.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
We will have to see.
Yeah, I will say again, the high elevation stuff we've shown, it's just concept, so we obviously can't really show the full extent of how it will look like in reality. Once those 3D sculpts are finished and we put them into a render, we'll definitely show them off, likely in an update.
I feel bad about breaking this.
I mean, it is what it is.
Okay, let's go.
It's just another sacrifice.
Yeah, but at least you can tell it's really I am even very surprised about it. Now I'm just wondering how this is made.
it's blood for the blood god. It's fine.
Yeah, let's go. Page review. So that was the last question from there. We can go through the questions if you want to see any questions here.
Yep.
Through maybe to do me a favor.
Make sure your Spider Rider guy is scuttle boss size. Need to replace Finecast. I'm assuming that's like competitors we need to watch out for.
No, Finecast is actually from GW. They used to make this very bad resin spin casting when they move away from metal.
Well, it's not very fine then, is it?
It wasn't very fine. I remember myself being in stores and replacing, I think I was getting orcs, and I needed one of the heroes, which was back then made in a Finecast, and I was like getting 4 or 5 of them. And this guy, he was so sorry, you know. Every single box I opened, it had a massive air bubble. Every single model was actually not usable. I ended up actually not buying back then, and I got something else, some plastic. But I was on a day of release of the Finecast.
Used to know the Scuttle Boss Spider Rider is still Finecast. Interesting.
Okay, so they still have the Finecast. I'm not quite sure. I think they improved that quality back then, right?
Okay, well, unlucky. Please include an add-on or stretch goals for doors and entryways to use between the themes.
That's something we will think about. That's something I think we do have in the stretch goals.
There is some space for it, maybe. We'll have to see.
Yeah, that's actually a very good idea, so I'll take note for that.
Okay, have you ever thought of doing sets for entire adventures, like a total Tomb of Annihilation pack, but for your own adventures? I mean, this is very ambitious. At this point, it's hard to say how much of an interest there would be in that. But, you know, I could definitely see it in the future. For right now, we still have a lot of stuff we need to make first. Like, you know, I think definitely getting back to Woodhaven, you know, recreating a lot of those sets, adding in more parts as well. I think it's quite up there on the priority list, and you know, we need to first develop a little bit more before we try and take on something like that, because that'd be a very big project. It's not like, you know, we can just see how it goes. Not like, you know, with D&L a lot of times.
Yeah. One thing, just to explain how, you know, our process of developing new stuff works is basically all depends on the projects we have in given year. So this year is extremely packed with miniatures because we have several miniature projects, board game projects with miniatures. We have ships ones. We do have some of our own IPs which we're building up. And this week and next week is actually critical when we're going to make a call about the next year, what exactly we plan for next year. So if we won't have enough projects to put into next year, we're definitely gonna move kind of into models miniatures. So maybe next campaign will be about the miniatures. Or if you're gonna have other stuff we have to make and manufacture for, I don't know, some IP projects or board games and such, we will have to do another terrain, and then we will see which one. But we talk about that one. So I personally would like to go back to dungeons and kind of remaster every single dungeon we did. So add more to those dungeons for those of you who already have them. Make them also pre-painted, so that's the big one. I think the pre-painted will, I mean, I am totally, as an engineer, as a, you know, person who don't have time for painting really, like even I should at least to clear my mind sometimes, but when I got that one in my hand, it just, for me, it's a ready product, right? It's just something I can just put on a table and play. Mm-hmm. And I have to have no hassle with it. So I believe with other previous sets that should be interesting to actually implement the same thing.
Yeah, now here's an important one. So are we ever going to see a lasers part of D&L again?
You see the lasers. The lasers part of it is actually laser engraving of painting on dungeons. No, the dungeons and lasers, the lasers part of it, there is a concept, but it needs to be combined with Rampart. So we spoke about Rampart just a few minutes ago about rescaling it to match more 40k terrain demands. So we might actually combine both of them. So that I think would be the best approach. And the way how to do lasers, just imagine underground cellar, underground bunker, or sci-fi bunker, and then on top of that bunker you have everything is what is above the ground, basically. So extension, and that will be the only one way for this one to work. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Shimon was pushing on, well, maybe we should add some additional tiny elements to change the fantasy one into sci-fi, but I don't think this will work. There needs to be like
I was specifically referring to like the miniatures we released, right? Just like a conversion kit. So like, you know, we release a bunch of miniatures, and then it's like we just add one sprue of like a conversion kit, which lets you turn a bunch of fantasy miniatures into a sci-fi miniature, for example. If there's demand for that, we'll have to see. But yeah, as you say, we may have to just, you know, make a full sci-fi campaign. We'll have to see.
Yep.
There's still a lot of time till that happens, though.
Yep. Exactly. So let's have a look quickly on the page, because I want to go through with you. And do me a favor. Because we need some feedback from you. We need to know whether the page is, you know, clear, whether you understand everything. Obviously there's some things missing here. Shipping cost is missing. That's gonna be added in next week. What is missing else is the info about taxes, right? So that will be added in, I think, as well. And everything else will be out there. I still have to think this should be not just normal render, it should be animated render showing pass through, or either here or just make a separate tile which actually showing, because really the video I've seen today, it's really doing the work, heavy work.
Well, you know, we could take inspiration from our good friends over at Dwarven Forge, make it stop motion, although I'm just putting that idea out there. If you're watching,
could be.
If the folks at Dwarven Forge are watching, you know, good to see you.
They sometimes watch. The competition is watching sometimes. Yeah, they do. I know the WizKids is. So hello, guys. Yeah. So because I broke them, I've damaged them. So there was also a question about the friction, whether if we, you know, in transport or something like that, if I'm gonna have those tiles in transport. And so let me just a small test. That's the tile. I will just rub it. You have nothing.
Now that's some anti-ASMR for you.
And I can do it even more.
Okay, wait, stop.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to tell you and show you, this is extremely a bonded paint, right? So
you have to probably show it a bit closer to the camera. But...
Oh, right. So there is no damage. As you can see, there is no damage. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one. As the second one, there's no damage. So that's how it works. Now, as we hear, what I said at the beginning of the video, you can see here 30 sprues. Now you're gonna get 7 of the same sprues in that set. I've got 3 only today printed out, but I wanted to show you that every single one, it's slightly different in detail. So the one you have here, it's got some grass elements.
Or some moss, or like, you know, whatever you want it to be, I guess.
Yep. And then the next one will have nothing on it. The third one as well. The fourth one, fifth one will have just a little bit of green here and there. So nothing like really a lot of yeah, not like that. This is the maximum amount of the green you will see on those things. But every single one will be different, because we have down here, as you can see, the these stones there are slightly different color than these stones there. And this is the same tile, by the way. Might not look like, but it's exactly the same tile design-wise. So yeah, so it would be definitely the way how you would paint it. So you're not gonna get army of clones per se, but you're gonna get a slightly differently painted. And same for the curved walls. So as you can see here, maybe like I can show you like that. So as you can see, different shade of stones, right? Okay, so once we assemble, it's gonna look awesome. This is gonna look awesome, and I'm gonna have one at least fully assembled just before the campaign starts. So I'm getting this one ready for the I'm getting this one ready for the next week, when we have the summary of what we have just told you. Now, as I mentioned, the campaign has changed the way how we want to run the campaign. So initially we wanted to go for a super stretch goals and, you know, keep them unlocking, keep them coming, and then showing you the new stuff which is being unlocked. That has changed. Now we have everything unlocked in terms of super stretch goals. So all the sub teams are fully unlocked. You can pick and choose any you want. You'll be shown. Well, we're gonna have those the last ones which are not here yet. They are still in the concept form, but we're gonna have them just before the start of the campaign. What else there? What else we have changed?
Well, we've changed the general plan for like the miniatures, like the layout.
Yeah, that's actually a good one as well. There was some votes about getting miniatures sets. Oh, by the way, have a look how much. Oh yeah, that was changed as well. So what the team added, and I really like that one. They show you what you get for your money, like, you know, the coverage, so you can see it, and then every single set with the render example of assembly, as I say. So obviously you can pick any of those sets, but I think it looks awesome because it's not as squarey or squarey as used to be with other previous sets we have, like dungeons. So finally I call this break the square, and the round walls, finally you can see them in the full glory. So I really like that. And you get a lot. That's 47 inches of terrain. Jesus Christ, that's a big one. So that was changed. We also changed the miniatures. I think we upped the price for $10, but you got a twice more miniatures almost, except the bosses. There was also that question. Now this also allows us to create more variety of miniatures. Because we're gonna create more weapons for the miniatures and models, which means that you're gonna be able to assemble them with several weapon options, and still gonna have quite a lot of them left. We also decided to have them on separate sprues. This means if you're gonna get Skeletros, it's gonna be just the Skeletor sprues with the options, assembly options, or demons gonna be separately, and on the third sprue you will find the bosses. So that's the option. And yeah,
one thing about that, is the third sprue just going to contain the boss and like a whole bunch of optional assembly features, or are there going to be other additional elements on that third sprue with just the boss?
I think it's just gonna be boss itself, because the boss is actually quite large. They're not small miniatures. 50mm base. I think, I mean, looking at that model is gonna be round about 90mm. It's gonna be quite large. So I think it's gonna be at the a single model on a sprue, with a small difference when we have the Goblin King and the Spider boss. They're gonna have to be on one sprue as well. Yeah.
One thing to note here that I just want to bring up now, because you said the Spider Rider and the Goblin boss, they're going to be on one sprue, and there's just going to be the 4 spiders here on the one sprue, or are we going to add more elements to that?
Or more elements. I think somebody actually, or the team put something here. I'm looking at this one. It would be great prop on that sprue. It would be a great element for have this one on a sprue. Or maybe we're going to increase the miniatures and models count just for free because there's a space on the sprue.
We probably like that. We need to exactly look into you know, what we can offer. But one thing to note is you're always going to get more from us, not less. We're not going to try and take away stuff.
That's what we do. That's what we always do. Just to show you something, what I'm talking about also is this element here. So we added in additional element, which is kind of like end element to your tiles. That's something completely new because first of all we added in just because we have space on a tooling, and one of the tools we decided to actually add one, so we're gonna actually have this one for 2 different teams, right? So 2 different teams, and it's actually a great element because you could combine them that way, creating a kind of bridge to cross or something to cross.
Yeah, a chasm.
Exactly, to
chasm,
cross.
sorry. Depending on where you're
to
from.
cross and such. So yeah, that's cool, and also is designed the way that you could have them kind of 4 of them even. So if you need another point of some element here, so actually that one goes here, so you can actually create additional chasm, right?
Sure.
So yeah, that's been added in for free, and I think it's actually on a page. So if we scroll up, let's have a look if it was added in or not. I'm pretty sure it was because somebody spotted in. Am I correct? It's gonna be in the oh yeah, you can have them here. You have them here. So it's actually, I think it was needed because when I was assembling initially this terrain and those half walls, they were not enough. I didn't like it really, because if you go up just a little bit and you can see that one there, right? So we did kind of break the squareness of this. However, it still see that. See that? See this? I don't like that one. I don't like the straight lines there. So these new elements will allow you to actually don't have any straight lines once you assemble. So here, there, you get 7 of them. So it will, it's quite a lot. So yeah. So that's actually a good thing. What else there? What else? Yeah, let's go through the questions. Maybe let's have a look what we have here.
Questions. Since there will be several split sprues for the miniatures, will there be an option to add on just specific sprues if I want only these skeletons, for example?
That's the thing. No, I don't think so. It would be causing a mayhem in packing. Yeah.
Yeah, if at most we would have to offer the split the packs completely separately and maybe offer two skeleton sprues, but and I don't know if we're planning that, or
I mean the whole,
be a lot more work.
The whole idea about splitting them in a sprues is that in the future when we're going to create a new set which goes to retail, which is gonna be, by the way, a bit more expensive than you can get them on the Game Found, we might actually create a small set which only requires Skeletors, and then for that one we just add the Skeletor sprue. This is something we haven't done before because most of you know that we're trying to make as little tools as possible because this is the most expensive, this is the biggest cost in the process. So we were trying to pack as much as possible on a sprue, and sometimes we had a 1 sprue when there was completely faction miniatures in there, and you know what I'm saying. So when it goes to retail, we needed to pack everything in one box, like we did with the massive packs of Townfolks, for instance, right? There's a 60-something Townfolks. So we have a small prop which is like a toilet, right, in the Woodhaven, and it's actually combined with one of the Earth Elemental, I think, one of the with Earth Elemental. Of Wind Elemental, actually, a demon. So I mean, everybody asking question, what's going on? Why do I have this small toilet in there, right? What's the purpose? And actually, there's no purpose. It's actually there because the way we have designed it, and we have some
element. It's a feature.
It is a feature because it's free, kind of free.
And then you can just implement it into your story. Someone took a very, very large, they had an extended session in the toilet, and out came an elemental, I guess.
That's true.
Anyways, maybe on your website the possibility to buy sprues separately in the future.
That's also option. That's option. Yes. It will be much easier for the team to actually pack and ship instead of actually have them during the process of shipping the parcels from the campaign. It is really hectic, so you have to understand it's like I've seen the boxes for those for some pledges, and they're huge. Some of the pledges are huge, and it's easy to actually, if more products we're gonna add in, it's more risky that we're gonna make some mistakes in the shipping, and we want to avoid this one as much as possible. Yeah.
Can you offer a color chart so we can so we have a starting point to match the paint job? This is for pre-painted.
Yes. We should be able to do that. If there is no problem, everything is kind of designed in Photoshop, so we can pull that information from the Photoshop just to give you that, at least for the color paint. And I think this is a good idea, and I will note that one, and that should be on the boxes of pre-painted elements we're shipping out. Because the people would like to add on, or maybe for those of you who actually haven't other set of terrain unpainted, would like to actually do that. Yeah.
Are the new minis in a larger scale than the village miniatures from the last campaigns? Well, I'm assuming you're talking about Woodhaven, which was,
yes,
well, 3 campaigns ago now. It's quite a long time. But yes, ever since our last campaign, so Dungeons and Lasers 5, World of Delslayer, all the miniatures are in 32mm scale. So yes, they will be larger, the miniatures you receive. And no, we're not currently planning on redoing all of the miniatures from those sets. It would require us to make completely new separate tooling, which would be a lot of work. Maybe in the future we can reuse those miniatures in some way, if we really want to make them again in 32mm, but I don't think we have any plans for that at this moment in time.
I think just a little bit of explanation. I think I say that one on one of the live stream. It was kind of we haven't done proper homework when we first started the
making miniatures for Woodhaven.
Woodhaven, yeah, exactly, miniatures for Woodhaven. Because we assumed wrongly that the scale for the D&D miniatures is 28mm, and without actually checking most of the manufacturers say it's a 28mm model, but once you actually have it and once you get in your hand, it's actually not. It's much bigger than that. So I don't know why they call them 28mm models. And we got some from competition like Whiskets, from Reaper Miniatures and such. And we did compare later after the campaign our miniatures to those other companies, and it is crazy how big scale they use. Comparing to what they say on the box, basically. So it's different, something else on the box and something else in the physical form once you actually measure the miniature or compare to true 38mm miniature. So from that point onward, we decided to go with 32 because it's kind of goes what it should. So it's going to be aligned with a competition. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you guys do increase the number of spiders, I might back in on that miniatures pack. Yes, as we have shown, we have increased the spiders, or the number of spiders. So there's going to be 5 in total. Four small guys and 1 big guy.
Yeah.
Can you make the train tracks and other terrain stuff from the SG's pre-painted too? How are we supposed to match the color and quality to the pre-painted terrain otherwise?
So the train track, it's just gonna be a plastic. So it's not. I don't understand the question really, because they do not come in with tiles. I don't think we're going to design them with tiles.
No. The question is, when you receive the stretch goals, they're going to be unpainted, even if you buy the pre-painted pledge, and they want to use those pieces in those pre-painted sets.
Yeah.
And it's just going to look, if they try and paint it themselves, it's going to look differently than the pre-painted.
Okay, so train tracks, I would say, I don't know if they're gonna look different, because what would you be? Okay, if you paint your miniatures, there shouldn't be no problem in general, because okay, so which color should match the because we got 3 teams, right? If you want to use for caves, let's say for the brown one, what on this track needs to be painted that color?
No, they're mostly just referring to like the color of, so it matches like the general.
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
The shading and the quality as well of the paint job, so it's similar.
Oh, the quality, yes, maybe definitely the quality. Well, it depends how your skills, right?
The thing is, like, it's going to look out of place if there's like a big difference between the two.
I don't think it will be, because the tracks are, I would use silver color and then maybe brown color just for the wood itself, and that will be fixing, because we don't have no tracks on here to actually comparing. So I would say if I have pieces of tracks here, I would say then yeah, that's gonna be a problem, because you're gonna paint them differently than what we have. But there's nothing to match to it. I mean, you can paint the tracks the way you want, because they will still fit on that one, because we don't have no color to refer to, right? Okay, so maybe we have shown, maybe the confusion is that the tracks we have shown, they look like they are tiles itself. Maybe this is the confusion. So no, they're not gonna be tiles. They're gonna be just proper tracks, like a proper plastic tracks, and you can place them literally in the middle or the way you want. Yeah, at any angle. Yeah.
What I don't understand on the game fan page is if the sub themes come pre-painted or not. This is a pretty good question. If you look at the pledges, just a second. Right here, yeah, we could probably do a better job of showing this. I think the problem is that, we just have a box showing hey, you can choose any of this. We might also need to show this a little bit better, that pre-painted also includes the sub themes and not just the core set, because the pre-painted symbol is just it's right above the core set and not above like
maybe use keyboard.
Yeah. This maybe
mouse is perfect. It's a user, is not.
Yes, of course it's me. My apologies. You can just use page up or down.
Nah, yeah, you can use page up and down, for instance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the mouse is, you have to click here, and then it will. Okay, I don't know. Okay.
So it's not the user after all.
It is. Broke my mouse. Okay, so at the moment what we're trying to do is we have unpainted set here and painted here, and that meant to say that everything you're going to take is oh, now it's working. Everything you're going to pick is basically either this or that, right? And except to stretch goals. So stretch goals are unpainted only. Okay, I think if this needs clarification, we will add it in. And also, I think we should add this information in FAQ.
Yeah, for sure.
If I choose how I choose all set pre-painted, which is basically select the pre-painted pledge. And also in explanation in the pre-painted pledge should be the full description of, and your entire core set and sub teams are pre-painted, so it will be there. We're gonna do that for you. If this question is coming, I would have the same question. I mean, if I haven't backed anything, I mean, if this is for the first time when we do pre-painted, by the way, so I'm not surprised this question is there. Yeah.
Is there a sample of the tracks we can see? Missed this if shown previously? Yeah. So right now it's literally just a concept. We don't even have the sculpt ready, but we did show off the concept in the previous Caves live stream. So if you're interested, you can check it out there. But yeah, as for now, it's literally just a concept.
Yeah. On a summary next week I will do that. So summary next week is gonna be very short. I'm not gonna be taking your time. It's gonna be 25 minutes, maybe maximum tops.
With the D&L VI campaign pushed back a few days, will the pre-painted Dwarven Mines still be available on March 8th?
With the D&L VI campaign pushed back a few days, will the pre-painted Dwarven Mines still will be available? What does that mean?
They're referring to the Dwarven Mines that are releasing to retail on March 8th.
Right, yes. They're still gonna be available on the yeah. So it wasn't the problem with the pre-painting. The main problem was we didn't have a sculpts ready. So if you actually went on a page just with the beginning of the week, you will find out that we didn't have the renders of the subteams. We only have graphics. So because we have changed that from super stretch goals into let's unlock everything and let's get people to choose what they want, we needed to postpone the campaign in order to get all those 3D renders done. for you to actually see what exactly is there. Yeah, but it's got nothing to do with the pre-painted. And so yeah, that pre-painted will be available on the Magic, yes.
Kindly include the rock bridge as an add-on if we don't want the demonic theme. We'll just need more bridges for our build.
Yeah, I mean, these bridges is coming. We have to sit down on those stretch goals and see what we can do with bridges, because this is like 5th time of 7th time when I actually see and read about the bridges. So
yeah, this is true.
Give us time. Give us some time to discuss. Jakub is on the live stream as well. So Jakub, please take notes, and we will discuss how we can do those bridges and those connecting ties between the each of the teams in the and how to actually incorporate them, because that's gonna be piece of terrain which meant to be pre-painted as well, so something we have to do there. If it's gonna be a separate sprue, then we could potentially add this one for the pre-painted set. We could. Yeah,
we'll have to see. Will all my order be stretch pay or the pledges only? Yeah, so let me explain how stretch pay works. You can only use stretch pay once per campaign, and once you pay off, you still won't be able to like make a new pledge with stretch pay. It's just once per campaign, and you can use it either during the campaign or in the pledge manager phase. And yes, if you include everything you want to buy, then yes, stretch pay will include your entire pledge, including any add-ons you add on. But yeah, you have to add it in, start the stretch pay, and after that you won't be able to use it again for the duration of the campaign.
Yeah, so that's what it is with the stretch pay. I mean, this is for the first time we're actually doing stretch pay, by the way. That's new option with the game found. We will see how this one goes, but we want to give you this option because the times are as they are. It's a tough times basically for everybody, and especially financially, so we want to make sure that actually we provide this that service. That's a good question. What a combination of caves, Mr. Boss, man. Will choose himself. I am huge huge Diablo fan, right? So like most of you probably, or some of you at least. So my pick to go is gonna be definitely demonic, because it just gives me that vibe. So demonic caves, that's the one to go. And then with the sub-team, so Combat Arena with my lovely Butcher in the middle, and then Chambers of Agony for anything else.
You mean the not Butcher?
Not Butcher. Yeah, did I say Butcher? Sorry. They meant that.
Yeah, we don't have the license for that, I'm sorry.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No. Let's move on to the next question.
When playtesting with the new cave strain, mainly demonic caves with miniatures, do your playtesters accidentally stab themselves in the hand often? Yeah, when they stab themselves, you know.
I got caves somewhere here. I got a sample sprue of caves.
We need to, you know, whenever they accidentally stab themselves, we also just grab a whip and just, you know, no, do not stab yourself. That's not how you use the terrain. I'm just kidding.
Let's,
Our team is very lovely.
Yeah, it is. Okay, but it's actually the cave's got the small bits, and I do have the samples, because we've made one sample sprue somewhere. I don't have it here on hand to show you, but yeah, you could stab it. Let's go. Next question.
Okay, yeah, guys, please don't use the terrain as a weapon. It might be stabby, but don't use it as a weapon.
Yeah, it's not that stabby. Come on.
Yeah, well, it's not that stabby. Yeah. Anyways, already started planning our massive rocky centerpiece with 2 levels of floors, mainly bridges and columns to keep everything accessible while adding vertical gameplay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. We'll get those stretch goals revealed, you know, when the campaign reaches a certain level, and you'll be able to see what you can do with that.
Will there be more wagons for the main track? I think this is something which we want to do. Is you will find additional purchase, at least the tracks, buy separately as add-on. Because it's designed to be a separate sprue, one separate sprue. So we will find the way of actually adding more, if you want, of the tracks itself. Yeah, but it means also that sprue will contain wagons. So if you want more wagons, you will have to go for most sprues of with the tracks. They're not gonna be expensive. Don't worry, we're not expensive. Yeah. You could use the 90s Full Metal Carnifex from GW Turner. Okay.
Ah, unexpired protein. Yeah, that is we should include that in the RPG supplement. That's one for Alex if he's still watching. Oh, he is, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we haven't mentioned this. That this campaign also will include a RPG supplement.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're gonna find is small campaign, right? We talk about a small campaign.
I'm not sure about a campaign, but definitely like a bestiary for the creatures we're adding in this campaign. Maybe we'll have some like short stories and whatnot. Not a full campaign, probably.
Yeah. Maybe the campaign within the maybe a session within the
maybe like a one shot. We'll have to see what Alex comes up with or what he's working on.
Yep. So that's something new. I mean, I'm very, very happy with the books the team did, and Alex and team, great work on that one. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. In the future, will you consider doing a box of just floor tiles? For example, if you do Woodhaven 2.0, essentially alternate floors, so you can make the interiors of buildings different.
Haven't we done this one for the Woodhaven? Or Woodhaven also was mixed? I don't remember.
No, Woodhaven was all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, the issue is like he's talking strictly just like one sprue is just nothing but floor tiles. So you can
Okay, so the thing is, the way and you know that very well because you actually sat on that one, and we have to balance out the number of walls to floors.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that. I did that with you, right? We sat down and at least see how many sets it's needed for each of the set in order to actually look good and make sure you don't have any leftovers. So you cannot have that many floors left, and you cannot have walls left unused. And this is what basically is limiting us to do any types of let's do only floors here and only walls there. But saying that, because we are moving into new territory of pre-painted sprues, we might have to do slightly differently for the future campaigns.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting that it might be worth looking at just making sprues that only contain floors and only contain walls, which will allow us to in the future make larger sets that we have more control over, because it's a big issue trying to make a large set because we're very limited by the number of parts on the sprue, and we don't want too many parts left over on one side or the other. Like we can't have just 1 million floors left over and have all the floors, all the walls used up. But yeah,
and also this will be very helpful for the retail as well. So something which we currently trying to do is to unlock the potential in retail, and our sales managers keep saying the same stuff about the how we could potentially after the campaign try to get this one into retail, but the complexity is that if we combine so many things on the sprues, it's quite difficult to get them. To get them.
Yeah, one question here: why does the Carnage track look so plain compared to the rest of the sub themes? The render looks really unappealing. That is because there is no render. This is just a concept art.
Yeah.
Please note, this will be in clear plastic as well. If you look at all the other sub themes, we usually have we have obviously the renders ready here and everything. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but there are a couple of things here that do look a bit out of place. Like the deep lines, we don't have them ready yet. So it's just also concepts here. But also for the Carnage tract, it is also just a concept art. So it's not ready, obviously. We should have it ready in time for the campaign.
Yes, it will be. I mean, they promised that everything is going to be ready by the 9th of March. It means that on the start on the 12th, we should have everything ready for you. So when you come back on the 9th, you'll be able to see all those elements there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if I design something functionally helpful to Dungeons and Lasers kits, is there a way to submit it to your team? Yeah, reach out to us via our contact email, and I'll have a look at it. And if I like what I see, I'll send it over to the rest of our team. Or maybe I should send it over first. I probably shouldn't be the judge of ideas.
Exactly. You think you should first send it over to the team, and team will have a look. So if you have some great ideas, then shoot them our way, because yeah, we're always open for the good ideas, especially for the trade. Yeah.
Does anyone else think this will be the highest grossing Archon campaign ever? You're going to be pulling in all those non-painters. We'll have to see. Hoping definitely to pull in those non-painters, because there's a lot of people that just play casually. They're not really that interested in the hobby of painting, but they still play D&D and other similar games.
Exactly. The thing is that this is our first pre-painted campaign, and I'm struggle to show you how great that thing is. I mean, comparing to anything which is out there on the market, comparing to competition, I'm not trying to tap my back or whatsoever. It's really like from the deep of my bloody heart, it's really amazing quality. It's the quality unmatched out there for anything which you have seen it. And I hope once we send, the YouTubers gonna have that one as well, and they're gonna do like independent reviews. You'll be able to hear from other mouths, but it's not it doesn't look like a toy. Let's change for the camera quickly. I don't want to bash competition. I shouldn't, because this is basically they are doing the best possible, but this looks like a toy, right? Come on. Right, so you have to pay a lot of money for that. I'm not surprised you have to pay a lot of money on that, because I just noticed how the tools are being made, and they must be expensive. But there's writing inside here, it must be expensive. So they spend a lot of money on having trademark and copyright mark on that one, instead of thinking about the improving. But that is like a toy.
You versus the guy she tells you to not worry about.
Yeah. And that is not like a toy.
Yeah, here we go. This is the terrain that will help you get all the girls.
Yeah.
Or guys, depending on what you're into.
Maybe let's don't. Yeah. But that's completely different. Completely different level. It's a completely different league, right? So now the thing is, this is for the first time when we're going to. This is where, for the first time, we're going to run a campaign pre-painted terrain, and I don't know if we managed to reach out to those new customers who have never backed anything from us, or they were just looking for anything pre-painted. So we will see. Maybe not this campaign, maybe a future campaigns, once we have this one like out there and everybody knows, oh look, this is something amazing, and this is something unmatched to competition, and price-wise and quality-wise. And if we do like another campaign for pre-painted terrain, we might get those additional customers who are only going for the pre-painted. Okay, let's go for the next questions.
Yeah.
Right.
I love the clock mimic in Deus Ex stretch goals, and would like to make a full room of mimics to give to my players nightmares. Can you do a new object mimic in the stretch goals for this one, please?
Potentially.
We'll have to see if there's space on the sprues.
Potentially. We have like 80 or 90 different stretch goals designed for this campaign, by the way. So it's a good number. So I don't know, we'll see. Let's check maybe some questions. If there's no more questions, because we don't want to take your time today. We're meant to be just
meant to be short, but
meant to be short, and
ends up being over an hour anyways.
As always, because I talk too much with my broken English, Ponglish. Let's have a look. Will we have any more questions here?
Okay. I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not gonna make it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's have a look. What is the concept of the Deep Mines sub-theme? It seems very generic compared to the other sub-themes. Any ideas to make it more flavorful? Yes, the Deep Mines is, it's meant to be that, Deep Mines. There's, broken minecart tracks, I believe, on it, or if I remember correctly. Let me just have a look here. Okay, so sorry, not broken minecart tracks, but you do have a bunch of walls and floors filled with crystals and golden nuggets, and there's also like a huge treasure pile in the middle of the room, using like the enclaves you get on the sprue. So yeah, it's just meant to be like that main hub of like, abandoned mine shaft. They found a whole bunch of crystals, but
yeah,
They're not here. They didn't gather them. What happened?
So yeah, and it's kind of extension to. I mean, the whole concept for that, for the subteams was basically that every single subteam is kind of extension to. Let me just change the camera because you see my face and I'm on a page. Yeah. So Shimon was referring to this, right? So Shimon was talking about that one, which we already got only a VIP at the moment. I did see some of the tiles being done. Unfortunately, I think it's our sculptor who was doing this actually needed a week off due to medical reasons. So he's gonna be back next week anyway. So he should be finishing this one. But in general, let me just go up quickly, and that was kind of extension to this. So what's the idea is you have a massive rock caves you go into, and then you find the spider nest, and then you find the goblin lair somewhere there with the spiders, by the way. So spider riders, they're actually harvesting spiders from there, and then you move somewhere when the previous team was trying to actually reach, which is the deep mines. So that was the concept, that was the idea. So it is very generic because it needs to work with that system. Yeah, but on top of that, it's got its own things like beams, like the mine beams and such. So as Shimon mentioned, and actually goes for every single one, every single set the same. Demonic caves, we move through ritual side, then we fight with non-butcher, and then we move through chambers of agony when we loot everything, right? So that's that was the concept. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look what else we have from the questions.
Yeah, Sharon-san, I think you're a bit confused as to what we were talking about earlier. We were specifically talking about stretch pay, where you can only make one payment of stretch pay for the entire campaign, and then you won't be able to do it anymore. But you can still just buy stuff normally if you want to.
I don't understand either. Okay, so my understanding of the stretch pay is once you go in, if you now go to any other campaign on GameFound, which has got this option for the stretch pay, you once you select your pledge, you select the way of making payment, and if you're going to select the stretch pay, you will have a pop-out list explaining you exactly the dates when the money will be charged from your account. Through your card, not account, because you don't provide account, but your card. And then you have, like, for our campaign is 6 payments, so it's gonna be 6 months of equal payment going through. If you're going to miss a payment, you're gonna get notified from GameFound that payment is missing, and then you're gonna have to sort it out at your bank, or basically sort it out the payment just to carry on. That means if you miss the payment and then try to finalize later on, I think there's a cutoff date which doesn't allow you later on to do any adjustment, but you're gonna have at least that 6-7 months to pay. You may pay more, I think.
Yeah, you can overpay. You can pay it off immediately if you want to.
Yeah.
Once you have the money, but again, once you use stretch pay, you can only use it once per campaign. Once you pay it off, you can't add more stuff with stretch pay. You'd have to pay the upfront cost immediately, like you would normally do.
Okay, so we were talking about 2 different stories now, so that's a little bit more complex what you just explained in terms of, okay, I know what I mean. So, okay.
Andy, hello. Will the fighting arena part of the arena be designed to be expandable? Yes, you can add in the tiles in the set.
Okay, so I've got one graphic which I don't have it here, which I will definitely prepared for the because you came back to me with that question as well. Could we combine those sub-teams, or can I buy 2 or 3 of the same sub-teams and make something else with it? It's a dungeons and laser system, so it's a tiling system which is locked into 60 by 60 millimeter tiles, which means you can do anything you want with it. What we're showing you is an example of assembly, and if you get 2 of those same sets, you can expand it. I did that. I did small expansion just to for myself, or just to see how, you know, how this everything will work. So yeah, you can go for more sets of the same teams if you want, by the way. Yeah, so they're fully expandable with the same set, or mix and match. If you can even use the walls from Combat Arena, right, if you like them for something else, right, because it's a Dungeons and Lasers. It will work that way. It is working that way, yes.
For the Demonic Caves, I hoped for a more Diablo-like look, but this would be more of a dungeon and not a cave set indeed. Have to wait for Archon to make Diablo room sets for Woodhaven.
That's a good call.
Crazy.
You know, the guys from Glass Cannon, we did have a chat initially about something like that, because they have like Diablo RPG license, and they work on that one, and we did kind of had just a briefly chat about how we could potentially design pre-painted terrain for Diablo, like original Diablo. So we never know. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't work. Obviously, that was just initial talks, nothing like agreed whatsoever.
Yeah, crazy idea for the super stretch goal, matching themed dice towers to match terrain. Well,
that would be great. I think this is kind of we could make it, but you know, to make it, we really have to, I don't know. Wow, that would be great. But I know how many tools is actually for the dice tower. We did that, like few dice towers. We did one for the.
Oh yeah, well we did multiple dice towers. Yeah,
we did Wolfenstein. We did one for the big one for Masters of the Universe. So we kind of know how big that is. But it's a good idea. It's a good idea, which you haven't thought about it. I mean, most of the cases when we do any super stretch goals, they're huge, they're large, there's a value in them. Yeah. Okay. Have a look. Maybe on the top there is some more questions, because I think we just jumped straight away on the bottom, and we missed a number of them. Couple of big game crawling games coming out here. Those
pre-painted tiles will combo great with them. Yeah. Well, we also had an idea for, you know, a very similar game that I used to play a lot when I was younger, and more recently too, for that IP, which I think would work really well with the pre-painted terrain. But we'll have to see. First, we'll probably have to, you know, see how this campaign goes, see where we can do better with the pre-painted tiles, and if any things need fixing up, then yeah. It's
also about scaling up the process. Because obviously you have to scale up the manufacturing process, and if we're going to be able to scale up to the level I'm gonna be happy with, we can just unlock this one for many other opportunities, right? At the moment we want to stay with just this campaign plus one set to retail, then maybe one more additional set to retail, or two sets pre-painted to retail, and see how it goes. There is no limit, by the way. So if we going to decide to go for a board game, which we had one in mind, and I was fishing for one license, would be perfect for that. But the last year, obviously, as you might know, there was a huge number of layoffs in the video game industry, and really complicated our plans as well, because we had like several different IPs which we wanted to work on. And all of a sudden the communication kind of stopped, and only because the people were just, you know, from one day to another one just gone of the business. So we are picking up what is left there and reopening new communication channels. And there was one game which, you know, with this type of tiles will work perfectly. Yeah. Last question, what is the size of connectors? I need at least 3mm in order to use magnets on them. Size of the connectors.
Wasn't it 5? The holes on them, weren't they 5mm? If I remember correctly.
But I'm trying to understand where we could potentially use magnets. I mean, you could potentially.
I think he's referring to these the hole pins here.
Yeah, but what? Okay, so I'll add magnet then. What then?
I mean, I don't know.
Let me just change the camera. Can you change the camera quickly for me, please? So this is the come over here. This is the back of the tile, right? Copyright Archon, by the way. Yeah, so if you want to magnetize, the only one way I can see magnetize, you could potentially add magnet here on that side. So that is 5mm. The tile itself is 2mm, so you got about 3mm space here, and you can add like a square beam magnet. No, yeah, so something like that maybe here, and then they will click. Only one problem you're gonna have is with this. Where's this camera moving? You're gonna have problem with this small hole here, which either you're gonna green stuff it or something like that. Okay. It's been an hour and something now. I don't want to keep you for not entertained because we run out of good materials.
I could be here all night, you know, telling jokes if you guys want me to, but...
No, you don't. Let's maybe check quickly for the last here.
Yeah, just the last questions then. Let's go.
Question.
Honestly, we could just need angled connectors. We could probably make our own. Yeah, well, definitely when it comes to, like, you know, curved walls and stuff, I definitely want to look into making those for older sets. I think that's quite important to, you know, have more natural structures, more natural looking structures when you build a city.
Yeah.
Are there any really big minis for this campaign, like a dragon? No dragon in this campaign. Although we do have the boss miniatures, obviously.
I don't know. Super stretch goal. As I said about the super stretch goal, we're gonna left it where we're gonna pick up when we left it. And if you follow the last campaign we ran, there was one dragon which wasn't cockatrickle one, which wasn't unlocked. I think
or maybe,
what was the last dragon we haven't. Maybe we're gonna do that. I've got a backstory about something because I received Deus Lair today, and the Kraken is so well designed with some tweaking can be used as a dice tower. It's a fact basically, but that the mouth itself is designed to hold D20. So it was actually scaled down to make sure that you can put the D20 there. So it was kind of Easter egg, which was done by the our sculptor. Yeah. One quick question about something I want to just answer. Will the new Master of Universe campaign get the dice tower? Yes, there will be dice tower available in that campaign as well. Yes, as we talk about the dice tower. Thanks for presenting and answering all the questions. Much appreciated. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for following us and thank you for your support. Release the Kraken. Okay.
Yeah, that should be everything for today, I think.
I think it will be for all. If we miss your question and you really need the answer, just post it under this video once it's published on YouTube, and then next week Friday you're gonna see my ugly face again, just to wrap it up what exactly we have done and what's the changes and how the campaign will work. And yeah, with all the answering all the final questions about the quality, about the pre-painted, about everything. I might have it, well, I will definitely have for you a fully assembled terrain for caves. I'm gonna go through with the camera just to show you, except heals, by the way, because I don't think we're gonna have that tool, heals tool ready. That's only one thing which is left there. And yeah, that's what we all, yeah? Right. So thank you very much for dialing in. I will...
thank you for joining us.
It's late here. It's late probably whenever you watch, and we're gonna... What else? Yeah. So have a good one. Have a good night. Have a good afternoon or evening or morning, right? If you live like where in China, right? Okay. Have a good one. Take care.
Yep. Thank you for joining. Bye.
Bye bye.